It's December 30th, and you are watching You Don't Watch Sports right here on the Feo Grande YouTube network. I'm Bill Smith. This is the man, the myth, the legend, Feo Grande himself, Omari Ellis. Omari, how was your sports week?
It was good. It was a good sports week. I got to see the Cowboys lose to the Dolphins, in the who can actually beat a team with a winning record game last Sunday. Dolphins got the win. I also thought it was fun because I got to watch it with family, and my mom was also rooting against Dallas in that, which I thought
That's
was
right.
hilarious.
We are coming off of the holiday season where we just took our first break of the start of this young show. So anybody who does watch in, I hope you come back to us after our week off, and we have a lot of sports to cover. Now, on this episode, it's just going to be a normal episode where we cover three sports topics. We're going to sprinkle a little bit of information into that sports conversation as we are your guiding light through the sea that is sports talk. So let's get going to that first topic. Omari,
Uh, all right.
what's going on with my boy over in Denver?
Well, Broncos country may be riding with somebody, or is riding with someone else for the rest of this season, as Russell Wilson has been benched. He is out as QB1 in Denver. They're benching the quarterback in a decision or a move that could have major complications or ramifications for both his future and theirs. Like, they obviously could lose the rest of the games out and miss any chance because I think they're still only like a couple games behind, kind of fighting for a wild card spot. But they're saying, fuck it, get rid of him. And he misses out on a lot of that money that they guaranteed him a while back. But I mean, even though the first 11 games they started 6-5, they've been 1-3 the last 4 weeks. Russ is only, I mean, his quarterback rating has been terrible. It's been 38, so not good. He's just had not been good
Right.
the past few weeks. So they said, screw it. You go on the bench. We'll pay this other guy.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't paying you to
Right.
come
From
out
what I
here.
understand, this is, I mean, it's like, yes, he's been playing very, very poorly. As you mentioned, 38 QBR in the last four games, which is the worst in the league right now for NFL quarterbacks over that stretch. So, yes, he is not playing up to par, particularly the dollars that he's earning. But this is heavily a financial decision for the Denver Broncos. The almost the identical situation happened to Carr last year for the Raiders, where if Russell Wilson for some reason were to get injured in these next two games and could not pass a physical in March, he will be owed a good chunk of money. So they are likely going to release him here very soon because no one is going to give them any kind of trade value for a Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
At that point, what do you think is next, Omari? Do you think Russell has a new team somewhere?
Yes.
Okay. He's going to get shot number three.
He's going to get shot number three because he's won a Super Bowl. And at the end of the day, quarterbacks are at a premium in the NFL. It's very hard to come across one. And I don't know exactly how old he is, but he ain't that old.
Do you think the Denver Broncos find a trade partner? Or
I
do you think he goes release and then has to go through free agency?
I believe the release is more likely because of how much he's owed. And especially once he's released, the other teams can do that because then he's been, humbled. And so you don't have to pay as much because you got released. You had two terrible seasons after getting all that money. We don't need to pay
Mm-hmm.
you that much.
Yeah,
And
you're
I'm
not
not
even
saying,
getting close to that deal.
yeah. So I think that's the more likely thing. if they release him at all, or if he's not a Bronco next year,
Hmm.
that's how it happens. They release him, and then he's gets picked up by one of the like 20 teams that needs a quarterback.
Well, feet to the fire. Since we've gotten here in the conversation, I'm gonna make you pick a team. Where does Russell Wilson play football next?
Hopefully, not the Panthers. I could see
Yes, I
Tepper
mean
doing that.
they're
I could
definitely
see Tepper doing that.
they're definitely on that list. I would say you got the Atlanta Falcons, you got the Carolina Panthers. Um, I know a member of I believe First Take mentioned it first earlier this week. Um, that like maybe a Mike Tomlin could be a early Pete Carroll in the relationship of whatever they had going on in Seattle. Maybe Mike Tomlin is a big enough of a personality and coach, and the Pittsburgh Steelers organization is enough of a Steeler way kind
Yeah,
of mentality that a Russell Wilson could slot in there as a system guy.
I could see that.
But who knows?
Yeah,
But however, we did predict this weeks ago. Weeks ago. Weeks ago, we talked about the likelihood of Russell Wilson being benched. We called it a dark horse pick at the
but it
time
happened.
because I mean he's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, but that's exactly why Russell Wilson gets
And
benched.
if you didn't think the dark horse pick would happen, well, I say the name.
I'd say we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. We didn't do great on MLB playoff predictions.
No,
However, we've gotten some interesting things right so far this year. Russell Wilson, we were very early on in questioning the ability of the Kansas City Chiefs.
true.
Very early on in this season, and they have only continued to throw up more question marks. And we're
Our
getting
first
pretty.
episode was also pretty on point. I don't remember what it was, but we looked smart as fuck after that first episode.
And we also told you that Mr. Shohei Ohtani was going to be a Los Angeles Dodger. However, we did get something wrong.
What did we get wrong?
Well, Omari, I told you that Yoshinobu Yamamoto was going to go to the New York Yankees.
Um,
In an insane turn of events, prize free agent pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto and the Los Angeles Dodgers
oh
have
my
agreed
god,
to a $325 million 12-year contract, Omari. This is the same team that just agreed to
God, Otani.
$700 million for Shohei Ohtani. This is a team that
Uh,
already had Mookie Betts as one of the highest paid position players in the league. This is a team that already has Freddie Freeman on it. This is a team that is likely to have Clayton Kershaw come back to it, a legendary Hall of Fame, greatest of our generation pitcher. I don't care what anybody
Kershaw.
has to say. They also, in between signing the two greatest Japanese baseball players who maybe have ever lived, they also traded for Tyler Glasnow, an incredible starting pitcher from the Tampa Bay Rays, who they then immediately extended to a 5-year deal. So he will be sticking around for a good chunk of this time. Now, Omari, it is a Japanese ball player coming over from a Japanese league. So it's a little different than normal. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has never thrown a Major League Baseball pitch. He has never thrown a pitch in Major League Baseball. Yet he just received $325 million for his services. And that is because Yamamoto has won 3 consecutive MVPs. He has won 3 consecutive Cy Young. Their version, it is the Eiji Sawamori Award, their version of the Cy Young Award. He has won that 3 years in a row, while also simultaneously 3 years in a row receiving the pitcher's version of the Triple Crown, which is leading in ERA, wins, and strikeouts at the end of the season. Yamamoto is likely an ace level pitcher who is a free agent at the age of 25. That is almost impossible to have happen in American baseball. It almost never happens. You can't have a rookie come up and then reach his free agent. You have to develop that kind of player. He almost is never in the free agency market at 25, and that's probably why he received 12 years, $325 million. Now at the remaining folks left there on the free agent market are still Cody Bellinger, who's probably the best available position player in the market, a great defensive center fielder who can sometimes give you a good bat, sometimes maybe not. You also have Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery on the pitching side of things still available. But right now, the talks are quiet. All the big fish have been caught. And now it's time for the medium fish to eat. And we'll see what they can get.
I just don't want the Cardinals to go hungry.
Hopefully the Cardinals haven't already ate their full. They have 8.
Okay.
They have 8, but I hope they eat some more.
Fair. Speaking of people who are going hungry, the Detroit Pistons fan base is hungry for a victory, and they are starving.
I can't.
As the Detroit Pistons this past week set and then continued their longest single season losing streak in NBA history. They were at 27, and Thursday night it seemed like we had an opportunity for the funniest thing to happen. In an attempt to break their streak, they went up against the team with one of, if not the best record in the league at 26-3, the Boston Celtics. And at halftime, they were up by 22. But in an overtime defeat, 128-122, the Celtics beat the Pistons, and their losing streak extended to 28 straight losses,
Which is now matching the longest losing streak of all time.
for the NBA.
When you include, I don't know, for professional sports.
For professional sports.
We win
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I went through it earlier. Yeah, they've already exceeded the single season, and now the multi-season where they allow the losing streak to wrap around the end of the season and go into the start of the next season. That is at 28. They've just tied it. Their game tonight at 5 p.m. against the Raptors, 5 p.m. Central Time for me, excuse me, is going to decide the largest losing streak of all time.
I don't know what happened in Detroit to make like their teams have the luck they do. Now, granted, kind of bonus to go with this, Detroit, a positive light. A streak was broken this past week for them. To go back to the NFL, the Lions win the division for the first time in 30 years.
And so Sports God said
so fast, Detroit fans.
Well,
you can't have the Red Wings and another good franchise.
I would say another positive thing to say is they are they're a consistent team that can potentially go anywhere because their wins are split evenly between home and away. So maybe for this Detroit Pistons.
Now, what you can say is they forced the best team in the league to go to overtime in the midst, or for loss number 28 the best team in the league needed overtime to give the 28th loss.
Uh-huh. I'm not too familiar with Thursday's game. There wasn't like Celtics didn't have the B squad out or anything, did they?
I don't believe so. You think I watch Celtics games?
No, but
I
you might
was
you might watch the worst
I was
you might
looking
watch
at the score.
statistically the worst team of all time
I
just for
was looking at the
S's and
score.
G's.
I was looking at the score for a good amount of it, but I didn't really look at any of the details. But I was really hoping that I could come on here and laugh my ass off for this third thing about the Celtics of all teams. Y'all were the best in the league, and you lost to the Pistons, the worst team
Yeah.
ever.
You would hold that on
The
forever.
worst
We
team ever.
could we could fast forward to the end of May and Boston's holding up the championship and you're like, but
And yet you
you
lost to the Pistons.
yeah, you would have held on to that forever.
And yet you lost to the Pistons. Yeah,
But they
nah,
didn't.
no, because nothing bad ever happens to Boston.
And everything bad happens to Detroit.
Detroit. And everything bad happens to Detroit.
And that's where
And the
we'll close
world
today,
changes
folks.
today.
Russell Wilson benched in Denver. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is a Dodger. And God, will the Detroit Pistons win a game again?
Yeah,
We'll
winning
see.
tonight.
We'll see tonight against the Raptors. So you're saying they're winning tonight. I say we're gonna get to 31.
Damn. So two more after.
You can see us at a lot of places here on the Feo Grande YouTube network, here on You Don't Watch Sports. You can also see us on This Guy Hasn't Seen, where we cover lots of different media that you can watch and share with your friends. And it's kind of like a little book club, movie club, TV show club kind of thing. And you might enjoy it. Poke around those titles. If you have sports topics that you think we should talk about, throw them down below. If you don't like some of the things that we said here today, continue the conversation down below. Omari, where else
Yes.
can they find you on YouTube
Oh, they can also
and
find
the
me on the
internets?
Yes, they can also find me elsewhere on YouTube on the Whatever We Want podcast. A new episodes just about every week, every Wednesday. Do it with a good friend of mine, a good friend of the channel, Super Jazz.
Super Jazz.
Thank you very much. As nature intended, we talk about just that, what the title says, whatever we want. And you can also find me on Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on
Come on
in.
in. Stop on by.
Thank you very much. And yeah, Bill, you got anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week.